And hello, everybody. Welcome to another AMA. We've got Stealth Steve here. Yes, I'm excited about this. Stealth is one of those projects where it has tons of potential, and we do have questions that people have been asking, and I've got questions as well. But first, Steve, how are you doing? Matter of fact, and I know it's been a long situation that has been going on, and I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy to the fact that you can explain about the past and in the future as well.
Sure. Yeah. So we're here. We're equally as excited as we were before. The process to getting here has been a major headache. Being in the spotlight and not trying to be in that spotlight that we were in for the amount of time that we were there. But um, we're good, and I'm good. Thank you for asking.
A-
And I hear
Absolutely.
you're doing much better too. And man, I can't tell you how sorry I am for your platform being taken advantage of the way that it was just because of what happened. That was not our intention, and I hope that you're just picking up everything like we are and moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I believe, you know what, the thing about it, I believe in you. I think when we talked before, you were somebody that I definitely wanted to talk to and get to know. And I feel like things happen. Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves an opportunity to really explain yourself. And by the way, I'm Adam Shelton. If this is your first time here on the channel here, we have Stealth and Steve Stealth talking about this amazing new project, more of a rebranding project of stealth. But to me, it's more like it's not necessarily the projects. I like the people that's behind the project. To me, it's community, and it's also the leadership of that community. To me, is where these projects really going to go ahead and take off. And it seems like you guys got something really special here. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening now?
Sure. Yeah. So, like you said, it's about the teams, and we think that we've got a very strong team, a core group of individuals that just they excel at what they do. Um, we have a high level of integrity within the team, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we press forward with the team that we have. So currently, we're working on a little bit of rebranding. We're keeping the Stealth name, but we're taking this opportunity to really step back and look at the project big picture. So we've been making some major changes. The project itself looks a little different,
Right.
um, but it still has the same high potential, and we're just gearing it more towards making our holders money, basically, instead of being a security token, um, and more towards the making money aspect instead of the security aspect.
Absolutely. And I got a chance to check out the stealthstandard.com. I love the name Stealth. It really stands out. I love the color, love the logo. But I like the fact that you are rebranding and you starting out on Q4 phase one. And so we're basically here. Is that correct? On phase one?
Yeah, and again, just like before the first launch, we have majority of phase one finished.
Right.
We obviously can't
Right.
get our CG listing until after we launch, and our CMC listing until after we launch. Um, and then our core team docs. That's for the most part. I'm the one doxed, and we've got our developers are doxed. But some of our team still needs to be doxed in order to have that core
For the
team
most part,
checked
I'm
off.
the one doxed. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, I was hearing reverb, so
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a little bit of an echo, but I able to, eliminate it.
cool. So the way that we're pressing forward with stealth is, like I said earlier, our main focus is going to be to make our holders money. And the way that we're going to do that is we've kind of set up three different pillars, our main pillars for stealth. So um, our tokenomics is changing a little bit. I really want to touch base on that.
Right.
Our tokenomics is changing to what we're calling a holders tokenomics versus the dynamic stealth tokenomics.
Okay.
So our buy tax for everyone is still going to be a 0% buy tax. Now, if you're a holder, you're eventually going to work that sell tax down to a 0%, but we've changed how that works. So after a holding period, you're going to be making your reflections throughout the entire time that you hold. But the way that it works down to a sell tax is in three different pillars. So we're going to have a silver, a gold, and a diamond standard within the holders.
Okay.
The silver is going to take 12 weeks to work down to a 0% sell tax, but it's going to be one solid sell percentage the entire way through. And then gold, which is the middle tier, it's only going to take 10 weeks to work down to a 0% sell tax. And then the highest tier of holders becomes the diamond, which is 8 weeks from your buy to your sell, where you're going to work down to a 0% sell tax over the course of that 8 weeks. And then to top that off, we have one special tier, and that's going to be for our version 1 stealth holders. They're all going to be getting an NFT that is the VIP Stealth Pass.
Love that.
And that's going to be airdropped to everyone that held V1. And that one it's super exclusive. It's going to be tradable. If you have the guts to sell it, they're going to be extremely valuable over time. But that one is going to be a 6-week period where you start with a 0% buy tax, and then at the end of 6 weeks, you have a 0% sell tax. So the dynamic aspect of it is it's still you're going from a 0% buy tax to a 0% sell tax, but you've got to hold it for a period of time in order to get to that.
Right. I like that. I like the pillars, man. I like how you can break that down like that. And someone asked me before, for all the people who invested into stealth in the older launch, what happens to that now? Because someone would just ask me that question.
So what have you been keeping up on returns?
Yes,
Okay,
I've been keeping up.
So we're doing 2 rounds of refunds. So the first round we've already sent out. We paid in between 0 and 0.1% or 0.1 Ethereum bought into version 1. We paid them back 100%. We just figured we'd get the small guys out of the way. And then between 0.12 and 0.25, we paid back 50%. And then everybody else, whether you held or whether you bought or sold, got paid back 40%. And then for the second round of refunds, that's going to be paid back through the tokenomics and through the marketing wallet on the back end after we launch V2.
Okay. Yeah, I have been keeping track of the returns. Just a couple people wanted to just get more of a clear direction, exactly how that's broken down. I can tell you guys took some time to really break that down in terms of all those type of information there. And that's kind of where I was really excited about. I'm like, okay, the V2 launch, and someone just asked about this. When does the V2 launch?
So we're working really hard at getting it launched
Yeah.
as fast as we
Someone,
can, while
yeah.
being very careful about making sure that everything is done properly.
Correct.
Everything is double looked over, and we want our contract. We want it completely finalized days before launch. We want it run through all the testing, really crossing every single one of our T's and dotting every single one of our I's, and then passing the information off onto somebody else to verify it. So we're making sure that we go 100% the correct way, so that we have a nice safe launch and a nice long healthy project that is geared around making money.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing about it. What you just said is that the hope, a big part of this is to help people make money. And what do you think is the strongest utility in this project? Because someone asked about that question as well.
So really, holding is basically your utility. The utility is on the back end. The utility is really trusting in the team to make sure that we can pay out our holders in high profit areas. So behind the scenes, we're also working on getting a hub started, and within this hub, we have our core team of people that are that are specializing in launching projects. So we'll take the same team that's
Right.
launching
Very good.
this version 2, and we will be launching new projects consistently on our new platform. And every project that we launch, we'll be taking a portion of every single one of those projects and profit sharing those back to our stealth holders. So really, the entire system is just geared. It's geared around making people money, and the people that are going to make the most money are the stealth holders themselves.
Right. And you talked about a little bit about the tokenomics on the different pillars and things like that. So the hold, basically holding is the biggest utility and taking advantage of all the tokenomics involved into that. And this one person just said, I choose to keep my tokens at V2 launch. Will there be any incentives for those who kept their tokens? You kind of talked about that actually.
So for keeping your V2 tokens, wait, sorry, I chose to keep my tokens for the V2 launch. So I actually do have some good news to present. For people that we've been delivering news to recently, we were actually delivering the wrong news. So everybody for their round 2 refunds will be getting paid back in V2 tokens, because it's just too expensive for us to have to transfer that over to Ethereum and
Sure.
then send out Ethereum. So we've changed course in that direction. We're actually going to be paying back the second refund in V2 tokens. But again, along with the NFT that every single holder from V1 will be receiving, it comes with insane perks, and we really need you to pay attention to the information that we're going to be giving for V2,
Right.
because even if you're on the fence or even if you're on the negative side of V2, you don't want to have anything to do with it, you may
Right.
still want to pay attention to the details, because it's got the potential to make up every mistake that we made in the beginning one will be made up to you through the V2, as long as you do, as long as you follow the route that we set in place for everybody.
I love that. And where is the best place people can get an update on what's going on? Is your Telegram group? Is the Twitter page? Is the website? Is it a place where people can kind of get some information?
So we haven't really been doing too many updates lately, for the simple fact that we've been
Okay.
working through a lot of the problems and refiguring out the exact direction that we've been going. So Telegram is most definitely the most uh, beneficial place to get your updates from. And now that we're kind of starting to talk about the project and the future project, and the way that it's going to look once we start rolling out again, we can now start talking about it more actively in our Telegram and on our Twitter. Our goal right now is to launch between Christmas and New Year's, and that may change. I'm not going to set a date. I'm not going to set, um,
Good idea.
we'll keep everybody posted with several days in advance, so that they're all prepared, and they have a chance to look over all the information that they want to look over. Um, but yeah, we will start providing more updates, and Telegram is the best place to get those updates for now.
Yeah, I was just in your Telegram group earlier today, and that group is growing. And it's they're ready for something special to happen with Stealth. They're just sitting there waiting this V2 whenever it comes out. And then all the elements that goes into that. It seems like they're ready to go. That Telegram group. It reminds me what it was before.
Yeah, and that's it's
Good.
our Telegram following it's huge. It's where we started. It's aside from Discord, um,
True.
it's our true followers, our true holders, and the people that for the most part truly believe in stealth, and what we represent and what we're saying we're going to deliver. So you can find the most positive energy in stealth. So if you're outside, if you're on Twitter, or you're wondering about stealth from another platform, like, come and visit our Telegram, because that's truly the place to be for now.
Yes, yes. Telegram definitely a good place there, and it's a good place for everybody to interact and really share ideas and talk about stealth, talk about what they love about stealth. So I was just in there, and people were just asking a bunch of questions about V2, talking about the relaunch, and I'm like, okay, today is a good day to actually talk about some of this stuff. And I know you've actually been going through a lot, and to me, I mean, I did get some feedback, positive or negative, but I understand, things happen. It takes time. what is the most important thing you're really excited about this project now? Is you're excited about the new branding, the tokenomics, the fact that you can be helping people, maybe some other things that we haven't been talking about? What are you so excited about this?
So the most exciting aspect for me is it's the same as it's been from the beginning. The working on stealth itself. We've had so many distractions because of what happened with the first round, that it's really taken my creative aspect away from me, trying to resolve all the problems. I mean, we've still had to be creative, but I thrive in creativity. Um, so what I'm looking forward to mostly is, number one, giving stealth the attention that it deserves and moving forward from us as a team, but then taking everything that we've learned within our core team and being able to apply it to other projects. As people come to us and say, we've got an idea, can you help us launch it? And we say, absolutely. We've got all the tricks, we've got all the answers, we've worked through it this way, we've worked through it that way. And then not only being able to be creative with stealth, but then being able to be creative with other projects that, you know, we may be passionate about as well, that may hit home, you know. So we're just really excited about stealth, and we're really excited about the way that we've put it together to make people even more money than we anticipated making them in the beginning.
Absolutely. And also, is it a new dev team pretty much? Is it a brand new team? Did you add it more? Did you extended it? Is it a small team?
So we got rid of our original developer, and we've moved to two developers actually. So
Okay.
um, DAR is going to be finalizing the final look over the contract before it's launched. But we actually reverted back to a developer that we had working on the project right after our first failed launch.
Okay.
Excuse me. So we weren't intending on making it public for now. I'm sure you guys can all guess who it is if you're watching this, but that's kind of where it sits right now. We're working with two different development teams, and one of those development teams will be working on all future projects with us as we move forward.
I love it, man. And the fact that you seem to be upbeat, ready to go, more hunger than ever. Got the stealth background in the background. And Melissa, I know she has a question because she said something before. She says, I wonder when we'll get I'm guessing questions because now I have some questions. Melissa, ask your question, whatever you have, and we'll see if we can get an answer. But I know that Steve is definitely a busy person. There's some things he can say, some things he can't say at this particular time. So just be your patience. We have 109 people just showed up all of a sudden. So hit the
Cool.
like button, subscribe to the channel, check out the Telegram group. I have the link, the website in the actual description. Check out their website, get to know Stealth if this is your first time here as well. Now, in terms of, I know you can give dates and things like that, in terms of the new launch and everything. Do you see this new development being able to help more people than it was before? Like, or it's about the same amount in terms of the mentality?
Help in what way?
In terms of, like, I know you said you want to help more people and make more money, but has the goal completely stayed the same? Now you have this new development. Is it something else? Now you're like, okay, I want to add this more to help more people, or is it basically exactly the same?
So really, we're keeping the greater aspect of stealth is the same. We're
Okay.
kind of stepping away from doxing teams.
Okay.
We're kind
That's
of
what I wanted to know. Yeah.
yeah. So even though we're still going to have our platform that we're going to be launching projects on, instead of vetting developers and teams, we will actually just become the developers
Oh,
within
interesting.
our own team. And the team members that will come to us with an idea will eventually take over the project from us, but we will always keep a backdoor in and be able to manage the contract if it ever were to become, a negative contract in one way or another. So um, we'll be helping people in a sense that we'll be helping other teams put projects together, and then we'll also be able to profit share with our own holders due to those projects. But that will also ensure that every project that we launch on our platform is safe. in that aspect because we will always have a level of control over it.
Got it. Okay. So, okay, I like that. I like the adjustment here. And Melissa did ask a question. I'm not sure how detailed you can go with this, where we can get those V2 tokens for the balance of the V1 launch. Will we get them at the launch?
So they will be at market value when we actually are able to return them. So it'll be equivalent to let's say, for instance, an example, if you were in the 40% where you got 40% of your return and we still owe you 60%, it will be equivalent to the ETH amount of tokens at market value at the time that we actually have enough funds to make it one payment back to everybody. Excuse me. So we don't want to pay back through reflections. We want to make a one sum payment back as the second payment. So, I mean, it could take 2 days in taxes. It could take 4 days in taxes. It could take a week in taxes.
Okay.
But eventually, at that point, when we have a sum large enough to make a one installment back to everybody, we will make that installment back in V2 tokens.
Ah, very interesting. Okay, very interesting. How long did it take you guys to come up with that plan? Because I know that was probably some different ways of thinking of it, how you wanted to come out with that.
Man, we've been
I
working
know.
on that for weeks. You
Yes.
know, at first we were planning on paying everything back in V2 tokens, and then the
Right.
plan changed, and we ended up, doing the entire change over to only ETH back. And then as we started talking to our developer, we realized that the most logical way was to pay back the remaining balance in V2 tokens, due
Yeah.
to the cost inefficiencies of reverting those tokens to ETH to then pay a transaction fee to send those to everybody. So we really had to weigh a ton of pros and cons, and take a timeline and decide what the best financially and time wise was in order to get everybody full as quick as we could.
Jason said, I like that idea, Steve. I do too. I do.
Yeah.
It's very creative. And I think, an investor wins. I think it also is cost effective, obviously. And you're moving towards to that V2 platform anyway. So you might as well start to go ahead and start using the platform. And someone said about renounce contracts.
Yeah.
Are you I
Yep.
didn't think so, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we from the very beginning we haven't been planning on renouncing, and there's too many updates in the future that need to happen. There's too many different platforms that we're trying to create that we need to link together in the future. So renouncing it's just not something that we're aiming to do, for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I can see that definitely. Especially with new updates, the things you want to add in there. I can understand that. One thing I did look at the website. I like the fact you added in the frequently asked stealth.
Hmm.
Um, is that something in the future you guys want to continue building upon, or that's just something that you guys kind of put together? Because a lot of people be asking questions about stealth, and I don't really see on projects. I don't really see this a lot, which I think is important because yeah, a new investor coming to your page, he or she may want to understand exactly what is stealth and what's the main mission for stealth.
Sure. So I think frequently asked questions is something that is it's constantly changing, especially with a project that has changes added to it, and different things that get incorporated as we reach different phases. So the frequently asked questions will always be there, and it will always be updated every time we get a new relevant question that we haven't quite thought about. We'll update that to the frequently asked questions list.
Absolutely. And I did notice the liquidity is locked for a year. So that was another question someone asked a couple of days ago. Is liquidity locked for a year? And
It's going to be locked for a year at a bare minimum. We're still considering going much longer, and we're also considering
right.
how we can add to the liquidity pool on a regular basis to strengthen the base of the project.
And I like this, man. You're getting a lot of support. Big ups on trying to, fix the problem with the first launch. Absolutely. And then also, oh yeah, man, what's going on, PhD? It takes commitments to restart and rebrand the project. Getting support of them here. How do you feel about some of the support that you're getting here? Because this is a lot of positive support.
Yeah, the support It means a lot to us because we
Right.
faced a lot of really negative interaction for the first, 5 minutes
Ooh,
to a week ago. A lot of really negative stuff that was really it was hard to face at times, knowing that we were in our hearts doing the wrong thing or the right thing to push forward and to pay the community back. In our hearts, knowing that we were as a team pushing the correct direction. Um, Unbeknownst, trust wise or whatever to everybody else, but we knew what we were doing. We knew that we had to step forward and we had to own the mistake that happened. It was the only way to move forward with the intentions that we had. So to get the positive feedback that we've been getting lately, it takes so much stress off of our plates, and it reassures us that what we're doing is right, and that people still believe in us. And man, it makes a world of difference. A world of difference.
yeah, it does. And it says the team taking this approach to a fulfill launch is basically unheard of, or to even acknowledge there were issues at all. That should be recognized.
I
And
really appreciate that.
yeah,
That's
man, really, man, that's unbelievable. And now you got something to build upon. And there's room for stealth in this business. There really is. You have a unique perspective in terms of helping people and also trying to not only rebranding yourself but trying to serve people as one. And there's definitely room here. I've always liked the logo, like the name, like yourself behind it. And 112 people's here. Hit the like button, guys. Check out Stealth. We have the link in the description as well. We do have another question here. Where do you see this project in 5 years from Matt Smith?
oh man.
Oh,
Um,
ooh,
that's one of the hard parts to touch base on because
yeah.
we know where we see the project in 5 years. Um, and we're going to be a major player in 5 years with a platform that looks a lot like the large platforms that are out right now, competing with them obviously, but still trying to work side by side. um, and there's two major ones that we're really looking to combine as one in stealth, and I that's as far as I can go with that explanation, but I don't want to give too much of it away. But
Right.
6 months to 8 months from now, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to talk about that. But during the development, I think there's too many big people that can hold us back if we reveal that information at this time.
And even if the person go look at the phases, it's really pretty much organized exactly what you guys want to cover in each phase. This is a long-term project based
Yeah.
off just by the phases. Um, and I'm sure there's more things on them phase in those phase lists that you guys would want to do and want to add as well.
Yeah, and you have to take in mind also, as we start to launch new projects, even if we don't have our platform built, then as we start to mold them all together and combine them all together, we then have our phase list gets longer and longer because we're adding more projects to that, and we're creating more directions to work all at the same time. So we have our core team that's going to basically be sticking to the phase as close as possible, and we're going to be hiring our subcontractors to do different aspects of the
Yeah,
different platforms that we're going to be creating. But yeah, there's a lot to do.
it's a lot.
A lot.
There's a lot here.
Yeah, but the fact that most of phase one is already done tells you, I mean, it tells you how fast and how hard we're working at it, and the potential that we have to tackle the rest of the phases on time.
Right.
My professional life before crypto, I am a contractor, so
Sure.
I've specialized in pulling teams together to get things done on time, and in a cost effective manner. So I'm applying that to some of those skills to the crypto uh, plan that we've created.
Absolutely. It says another question: will there be a max buy per wallet on V2?
Yes, there will be a max buy per wallet,
There
and
it is.
it's going to be 1%. So nobody will be able to have more than 1%.
Good answer. Great answer. How are you going to enter the metaverse if that's something you intend to do? Interesting question.
So the metaverse is not currently part of one of our plans. I'm not going to say that it's not a possibility. With all the possibilities and all the potential that stealth has, I wouldn't write it off as not a possibility. But our NFT space is going to be more unique than any other NFT space out there. So, in a sense, to a small degree, it's kind of like a metaverse, but it's not really. But yeah, we're not writing anything for future possibilities for stealth off. So it could be a potential, a possibility, but currently we don't have a direction for a metaverse right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got so much stuff even before that, basically to accomplish from what I'm seeing here. And it says, what is the current contract address? Has it changed?
It's definitely going to be changing. Yes, the current contract address doesn't exist yet because the contract's not finished.
Absolutely. Had I knew the answer. I just wanted to, make sure it's out,
Sure.
just because everything is relaunched. And it says, I like this question here. What's one of the questions? He said, I see this project as a case study in business school on crypto business environment. Interesting.
Hmm. I see this project as a case study in business schools on crypto business. Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah, yeah. It has a certain elements to it though. It's I can see people kind of like talking about this based off some of the phases that we're going through that I'm
Yeah.
seeing in here. I can kind of see them going through that. It could be a model to certain things. That's something interesting. Wow.
So the way that I'm kind of connecting that is through our hub. So our hub is
Right.
going to be designed to pull people in with ideas. They'll know that they can come to us and they can either have a team or create a team through our platform, and then safely launch a project with direction, with help, with how to avoid mistakes, with
Right.
and automatically having a developer, because let's be honest, that's one of the hardest things to find in the crypto space
God.
is a competent developer. So
Yep.
in a sense that could be like an area where people could come in and learn, from even if they're not planning on launching their own projects, but they could come in and they could learn about the space, they could learn about what it would take. And yeah, it could be a case study in business schools and business environment.
Are you planning on locking the dev wallets?
So we are locking 50% of the developers tokens for 3 months. Yes.
Good question. Good answer. And it says, what's the max supply of this token, or is it the same supply as the first one?
It's going to be the same supply as the first one.
300 billion? What was it?
1 trillion.
1 trillion, 1 trillion, 1 trillion. Yep, we just answered that. Will the contract address be out early? Will the contracts be out early, like days before, not like 5 minutes?
So we are actually going to we're going to be doing a stealth launch. We think that that's the safest way to make sure that the project doesn't hurt anybody in the very small percentage that a repeat happens, which it's not going to happen. But we think a stealth launch is the safest route to go. So we'll stealth launch. We'll do all the bot capturing that we are going to do in the beginning, and then once like block 1 or 2 is over, we'll pass the contract address out, and everybody could buy after that.
And Mike D's asking about you should have a max buy set in place for security.
We will have a max buy, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah. So don't worry, Mike. Yep. What's going on, Dan Rob? What's your question? What's your serious question? I know you got one. How many staff is on the team? Omni Finance. What's going on, Omni Finance? What's up?
Sure. So we had a rather large team to begin with. Since the first botched launch, we've taken that team down to a core of seven team members. We still have all of our original investors. They are all going to be still part of the original stealth team. But in order to move forward, we don't need that many people actively working on the project. So we've made our team smaller. We see it being more efficient and more effective. But our core team of Stealth, or our original team that started Stealth, still exists. They are all still team members. They're just not going to be active every day on the project.
That's good. I like that though, man. I mean, and that's the thing about when you starting something and you can go back over and review and say, okay, we only need this many because you got some experience. You went back over the drawing board and realized, okay, we only need this many people working on the project. As it expands, maybe that may change in the future.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why that's why I say we're still keeping all of the original members on the team. They are all still technically team members,
Hmm.
um, and we don't ever want to close that door. You know, considering the fact that we're going to be launching many projects in the future, every single one of our team members will have the opportunity to say, "Oh my gosh, that project hits home with me. I want to be part of that project," and we
Right.
will welcome them with open arms. I mean, you're still going to see them in our chats. You're still going to see them everybody talking and interacting. We're all still a big family behind the team, behind the scenes at Stealth. We've just kind of taken what's a necessity to move forward behind the scenes, and we've narrowed it down to what's actually required as a team to press forward.
And this person just named, he said, is this token being running as a business? I feel like it is going towards that direction.
It is, yes, yeah. We will be turning into a business.
Yes, especially looking at the phases and all the tokenomics. Yeah, I would. To me, it feels like more towards the business, no question. So Thomas Prince says, "How about if I want the rest of my money back and put on V2? Do I need to contact you, Ricky, or would you just airdrop it to our account?"
We will just airdrop it.
Airdrop it. Yep. And he talked about that before. So just wanted to, just in case you just get in, just want to make sure that's answered for you. Dan Rob, okay. Are the devs worried about after launch if the SE wins the Ripple case, which I don't think they will, but if they do, are you worried that they will be coming after you as an assault on crypto space?
That whole mess is really all still up in the air.
It
We're
is.
in the DeFi space. We intend to stay in the DeFi space, and really, it's so hard to tell what's just FUD out there and what's real case.
All right.
I don't see anything happening major in the DeFi space for a couple of years personally,
Okay.
and that's not something that we're moving forward with planning on. We plan to move forward as we intend, and if something happens in the future, then we'll identify and recognize that problem in the future. But right now, we plan on moving forward as we plan.
Good answer. Yes, I think it's going to be some time, but it's good that you can only focus on what you can control. So,
Yep.
and then that's all you can do. So, yes, Dan Rob, love you, man, love you, bro. And are you guys going to be on cytomask? I don't know if you can really say that, but
Um, I mean, that was kind of one of our marketing moves. We will be applying to cytomask, yes, in the future.
that is excellent news. That is good news. Happy holidays. Okay, all right. So his question was answered. Oh, thanks, Ricky and Adam, for making it happen. Let's go. Yes. Okay, man.
Thanks,
We can
Sad Prince.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the support and then happy holidays. Does anybody have any questions right now as we continue going through the process? We've been getting a lot of good support from this project. People have been really ready for the new launch, the new year. And also we got another question here. If you had to name one thing that sets your token above the others, what would it be?
Oh man,
Hmm.
our vision as a team, our adaptability and ability to overcome problems has definitely shown through since our first botch launch until now. Our ability to stand up and say, Here's what happened, here's how it is, and here's what we're going to do to move forward," is I mean, it's up here. It's up at the top. So, and then just the project itself. I mean, uh, our our intentions of changing a project that was already an amazing project, changing it around with an opportunity given to make our holders more money, like as one of our single highest goals,
Oh.
is probably what will set us apart in the future. And mark my words, I mean, you get that NFT as a V1 holder and you hold it, you will be making a lot of money.
Yeah, and yeah, your tokenomics, especially rebranding those tokenomics with those different type of levels, that is definitely a separation of rewarding the gold, silver, and all the exclusive benefits. I do like aspect. It's almost like your project touches on so many different things. The NFTs that you guys are working on as well. I'm looking forward to seeing the first NFT. Looking forward.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty cool. And like our NFT space is, it's going to be hard to create, but it's going to be basically like a metaverse. It's going to have the ability to connect with
Mhm,
a VR headset, and you
mhm.
can go into this NFT space, and you can just then spin around your NFTs and look at them in a 3D aspect instead of just having it on your phone. So we just want to be different. We want to touch base on all the different angles that we possibly can, and bring a change to the space.
I love that. I mean, how many do you have a dedicated person that's working on NFTs, or is it more of a team, a group effort?
We have a couple of different peoples, yeah, that will be actively working on the NFTs. We've got one person that's really good at 3D
Oh,
lidar kind of stuff. So uh, he'll be working mostly on those, but we will definitely be contracting out anything that we need to contract out to make sure that things get done on time.
okay. I like that. I like that. NFTs is so important in this space. We're getting a lot of people asking about the airdrops. When would they airdrop V2 to those from V1?
So the timing of the airdrops from V1 paybacks to V2 are going to depend on volume specifically. So another thing that I wanted to touch base on while we're on here is um, the taxes. So originally it was going to be a 0% buy tax and then a 12% sell tax declining down to zero. But since we've changed everything around and we're making everything super lucrative, um, holders that hold for the entire amount of time to work their way down to a zero buy or a zero sell tax will be reaping the rewards from reflections through a 30% sell tax in that period. So the
Hmm.
12 weeks, 10 weeks, and 8 weeks that you're going to be, or 12 weeks, 10 weeks, yeah, 8 weeks, and 4 weeks that all of these holders are going to be holding in order to get down to a zero sell tax will be gaining a massive influx of reflections.
They would be.
And you compare that to a normal project. Some of them are 12% buy, 12% sell, which equals 24%. But
Right.
then you also have wallet to wallet transfers where we don't have a wallet to wallet transfer tax. It's a 0%. So you get a 0% buy tax, a 0% wallet to wallet tax, and then after a period of time holding, you get a 0% sell tax. So our charge can
Wow.
speak for themselves. I'm sure they're going to be very tempting for people to sell for a 30% sell tax, and that's where we're going to reap our benefits from.
Very interesting. Very interesting in terms of the sales tax. That's another benefit right there. I mean, all those 0%. And will the Ethereum rewards be locked in for a time frame on the different tiers or available instantly?
The E3 rewards be locked in.
Yeah, Ethereum reward.
So yeah, that was another aspect that we needed to touch base on. So originally, before we got started on the contract, we were under the impression that we would be able to do E3 rewards, and that's not something that we are actually going to be doing. We're going to be doing all of reflections are
Mhm.
going to be the rewards for the project. And then the profit sharing, we haven't worked that aspect out yet, but we're going to make it to the benefit of the holders as closely as we possibly can. So when we have more information on that in the future, we'll be able to provide that. But for now, I do need to apologize for everybody. It's not going to be E3 rewards like we've been saying. We tried as hard as we could to figure it out, but we haven't been able to come across any developers that can tell us how to do it and how to do it efficiently without taking too much of the back end and throwing it in the garbage, basically. So I do apologize, but we're not doing ETH rewards.
I understand. And are the NFTs only for people who lost money on the first launch?
So the VIP pass, they are going to be for the V1 holders. So we are going to make. We haven't decided if we're going to make 887 of them, which is how many holders we had, or if we're going to make 1,000 of them.
Right.
But they are going to be airdropped to the V1 holders, and then they can either hold them or they can sell them after the community decides what their value is, and over time that value will go very high. Um, we just want to reiterate that the NFTs are going to be a very exclusive NFT, and we'll just see. We'll see in the future what they're worth and see who can get their hands on them. But yes, it is specifically for the version 1 holders, unless you can find someone that will let you buy one from them.
Very interesting. Okay, I'm glad that got cleared up as well. Do we need to trade the token for the NFT? Maybe do you gain an NFT through ETH, possibly as a long-term holder reward?
No, the NFTs will be given to everybody that held V1, no
Right.
matter what. So any wallet that bought
Love
into
that.
V1 of Stealth is going to get airdropped an NFT.
I hope that answers your question, Matt Smith. And then how to buy this? Is it out yet? Already? Nice.
Yeah, we haven't launched yet, so we're still rewriting the contract for version 2 of Stealth, and we're aiming to be in between Christmas and New Year's, but there's still a few decisions that need to be made based on the market, based on what kind of interest people have on
Right.
a between the holidays launch versus a New Year launch. So we still have some information to collect before we release the final decision. But I'm on the same page as everybody else. I want it done as soon as possible. So I'm shooting for between New Year's and Christmas. Unless all the signs point to no, then we'll launch in New Year's.
Very good. Very good. Is the second round of refunds going to be at launch price?
No, the second round of refunds are going to be at market price once our wallet reaches the amount that will cover all of the refunds with a one more transaction refund. So we're not going to be paying back in reflection slowly. We want to give you a one lump sum once our wallet reaches that the amount that covers all of those in a one lump sum.
And you just got your question answered. Yep, you did actually. When he was just talking about this here, he's talking about the time frame, yeah, for the V2 launch. So we kind of talked about that as well. And they also said, thanks for the NFT for the V1 holders. Oh,
Hey, we're looking out for you V1 holders. We've been through hell and back with this entire thing. And our number one goal since the beginning has been make this up to the V1 people. Pissed off or not pissed off, we don't care which side you're on. Like, our goal is to make you full, make you happy, and make this up to you in any way we possibly can. So trust in me when I say we're looking out for not only your wallets, but your love back for us, like you originally had.
absolutely. This person said, I never own an NFT. I'm never selling. Well, if you'll be one holder, you're definitely. It looks like you'll be getting one. That's awesome, man. I like that's almost like a reward for everyone who went through the whole process. I'm looking.
And then one more thing on top of that, we're still finding a way to pay people back for one gas transaction. So you may
That's
see an
true.
extra
We didn't talk about
$125 to
that.
$150 in your wallet just for that in tokens. So I mean, we're really going above and beyond to fix this problem, and we've been doing that since the beginning. Whether or not we've been super communicative about it, it's been our intention, and it's what's going to happen as we follow through with everything. So anybody that's looking for a surprise, be prepared to be surprised, because that's the only outcome that we see as a possibility.
Yes, and yes, thank you for the NFT. Well, appreciative. People love NFTs, man, especially if they're really good and innovative. Oof, that's priceless. And Steve, I appreciate how straightforward and transparent you've been in this stage of this project. I hope other teams see and learn from how your team has handled this field launch with grace.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And my team takes as much of the credit as I do.
Yeah.
We talk about everything that we want to deliver. I just happen to be the delivery person. So
Hmm.
um, they deserve as much of the thanks as I do.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward for the V2 launch, the NFTs. I'm just happy you're here. You got excitement, your energy. You've got people here. We had 110 people showed up here that's just excited about the project. I would love to like maybe once the V2 get launched, maybe circle back.
I'd love to.
Yeah, circle back, and then once we can actually have more information for everybody and the V1 holders. Absolutely, we V1 holders definitely been through some things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man,
Yeah,
so much.
I'm
Yeah,
a V.
we've done a good job at keeping that kind of stuff to ourselves too. As
Mhm.
stressful as it's been, I mean, you wouldn't want to go through what we've been through as a team.
No.
You just wouldn't. So
But it builds up character. It
it
builds up a
does.
lot of stuff in there, and a lot of things to remember by, things to do, things to don't do. But the dedication of the people. Some of these people are still here.
Yeah, even those people that are cursing us out and cursing our name, like we love you too, and we're gonna make
Yeah.
this up to you too. So here we are.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Well, do you have any final remarks to say as we close this out? Anything to say? Anything that we missed?
You know, my final closing. I've talked enough about stealth, but I just want to thank you, and I want to
Oh, thank you.
personally, apologize for the first go around. It was not our intentions, and I truly hope that everything's good on your end, and
Yeah.
we can press forward, as buddies.
Yes, yes, man. Absolutely. No, I'm okay as well. I'm okay. I think I felt good because how calm and collective you were when it started to happen. You were pretty calm, even though it was a lot going on. And then we talked a little bit afterwards, and I feel like okay, this thing is gonna bounce back because it has so much potential. It's not like this is some project. This project here can really do a lot of help a lot of people. And but no, I thank you from just perseverance, energy, excitement, leadership, character, and I can't wait to us have another conversation again when the V2 launch and other things come about.
Cool. I appreciate that. And my calmness throughout the whole thing came from
Mhm.
knowing who I am. In the
Right.
face of danger, in the face of a mistake, like I know who I am and I know what I'm going to do, and that means clean up my mistakes. So I had faith in myself, and the only way that I could project that outwardly was to be calm about what was happening.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I saw the actually, the personality and everything with that. And I'm like, okay, he really does care about it. And yes, we're trying to set one up probably next month, hopefully, and then we can kind of do a recap, talk about some things and some new updates. I would love to do that if that's okay with you, Steve.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd love to, Adam. Anytime you want an AMA, I'm here.
All right, everybody, there you have it. We got Steve Stealth. It's on and popping. They're gonna be ready to go. I'm looking forward for the V2 launch and all the V1 holders. We in for a treat. I can't wait to find out
Yeah.
that out. The NFT. Woo, goodness. All right, guys. My name is Adam Sheldon. He's Steve, and we'll see you on the next AMA.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.